Thank you, Coochie Too Big.
Yippee! God damn it!
I love gambling.
Welcome back to the second podcast episode of Zasha Loves Chats. Today, Vlad and Ellie will be joining me, and we will be discussing woke video games. Yeah, he had the like Master Chief in a wheelchair,
Mhm.
like
Yeah,
morbidly obese for some reason. As if
because
there's
it's
any depiction.
diverse. There's Edward Kenway from Assassin's Creed, big, fat, and in a wheelchair. I think there was someone
I can't
else
believe they
too.
haven't
was.
made. I can't believe they haven't.
Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one.
I can't believe they haven't made the solo poly hijabi amputee into a video game yet. She
Call
wasn't
of
woke
Duty,
enough,
Robot
so they
Sex.
took her fucking leg.
Oh my god.
Gay weirdos still mad about Marvel Rivals' huge success.
It's me. I'm the gay weirdo that's mad about Marvel Rivals' huge success.
No, I'm mad that people keep coming into my comments while I play Overwatch telling me to play Marvel Rivals because they're so mad that I'm playing Overwatch.
Oh, I actually want to see this later on. Oh, but yeah, let me know when you're ready to watch this video.
Yeah,
or
I'm
fo-
ready. I just, Okay, ignore the profile pictures.
Well, you're gonna need to edit those out.
They're staying in.
You can see the profile pictures.
But yeah, you can because you haven't opened up the stream yet.
Oh my goodness me.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Oh no, everyone knows our secret.
Which is that we are 2D characters.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
It's no secret. Okay, I'm good to go.
Right, so the little prelude to this is Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 was this like realistic in the Middle Ages, like history fiction. So the self-insert fictional character, put him into the Middle Ages, and have a go at it. Henry, the son of the blacksmith. A lot of people loved it because it was very historical.
Okay.
You could not go around and like do things you normally do in some other game because Henry, first of all, he sucked at fighting like a real person would. You needed to train to fight,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of progression there. It's a really popular game. A lot of people love it,
What's it called?
including Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Oh, I never heard of it.
Yeah, but now the second game dropped, and you can have an optional gay romance.
Right. As you would in
So
any
yeah, as
point
you
in
would.
history.
Yeah. Now let's see what our good friend Andy Pants Gaming has to say about
Andy
this.
Pants Gamer. Are you sharing it?
I forgot to share it.
Did you start playing the video? Vlad.
Oh, you silly bugger. You silly bugger.
No, okay, cut. This is take 2.
wait, don't play. Okay. Alright. Wait, play it for a second so I know the volume's okay, because I might need to alter the stream volume.
What a tolerant and accepting time
Okay,
the
that's good.
medieval Middle Ages were, right?
All right, so the prelude to this is that there's this game, Kingdom Come Deliverance, which was all about being in the Middle Ages. It's a historical fiction game, Essentially, they put you in and they try to make the setting as accurate as possible to the time period of Middle Ages Bohemia. And back then, it featured no color characters
Mm-hmm.
and no LGBTQ characters. And the idea back then, from the gamer's perspective, was that, like, well, obviously you wouldn't feature them. They didn't exist back then. But
Gay
now that the
people
second
were
game is out,
invented in the 90s
yeah, somewhere around there, yeah. That's when I first heard
when I
about
was
them.
born.
You invented gay people.
Mm.
Well, let's see what happens when you put this ahistorical invention into a Middle Ages game. Genuinely amazing.
Am I right? And guys, let me ask you this. If you only sometimes put wieners in your mouth, are you straight? No, you're a sodomite. But Henry is not. They specifically said here he is not gay. He's not bi. What's going on, guys? I'm just going to get right to the point here. Do not buy Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This game is a non-binary at this point. I would have said wait and see, but we have pretty much seen everything we need to see now.
Did he
Daniel
just make
Vavra,
a
the game's
pun
creator,
of
has
non-binary?
confirmed
He really
that
thought
they
of that
have
one.
destroyed the lore
clever.
of the first game. I'll remind you that Henry was canonically a straight white Christian male who
Let's just, like, right off the bat, he was not, like, canonically straight. Even in the first game. It's not that you could do gay actions in the first game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at no point does Henry just stand up and say, I am a heterosexual white male. There was no, even in the Middle Ages, in Bohemia, nobody really gave a crap that you're white to begin with because everybody was white.
Yeah.
That wasn't that much of a thing. Religion was.
Mm-hmm.
Religion was back in the day. There was a lot of peer pressure to be a Christian. You would, by default, of course, say you're a Christian, even if you weren't Christian.
Of course.
But that was just the way the society was back then. He had no other options than to be a Christian.
Yeah.
Even if he wasn't a Christian, the fact that he's not a Christian would be just as hidden as the fact that he's, like, bisexual.
Yeah, they're not out and proud.
If they had, like, some sort of a scene where Henry is, like, secretly a Muslim, it would be just as controversial to, like, practice Islam as it is to be bisexual. It's both of these are, like, equally death sentence worthy in the Christian society of Middle Ages Bohemia.
Yeah. They didn't care which what. You're
Exactly.
getting sent to death.
Yeah, but the whiteness, nobody really cared about it.
Mm.
That was not a concept yet.
who honored God in the first game. And now we have confirmed from Daniel Vavra that he is bi and he can have same-sex relationships in the second game. So I was saying wait and see on this game.
Not relationships, a relationship.
Right.
Also, honored God is really up to interpretation because he's gonna talk about the way he played the first game
Yeah.
soon, and you're gonna hear exactly how much he honored God in his gameplay.
I'm not even saying wait and see anymore. He's confirmed that they turned Henry into a sodomite. They turned Henry into a degenerate. And guys, it's sad to see something that we loved go away. But hey, we always have the first Kingdom Come Deliverance. Yeah, guys, a lot of people are reporting on this. Here's John Trent over at Fandom Pulse. Warhorse Studios community manager confirms KCD2 allows players to make Henry a sodomizer despite previous claims he was straight, white, and male. And the funny thing about all this is if they had just kept their mouth shut, they would have fooled us. Daniel Vavra just had to go on social media and talk about it. And I'm actually glad he did, because now we know that our beloved Henry of Skalitz, the son of a blacksmith, has been turned into a sodomizer. and it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting, and I will not buy this game. I want to talk about just a lot of arguments that I've been getting online, because people have been saying, "Oh, well, you can choose to be gay in Mass Effect 3. You can choose to be gay in Cyberpunk." Henry was canonically straight. So to say that Henry is bi now is a change to the lore of the game. Warhorse confirmed that Henry was a canonically white, straight male. He was not gay. And for them to say that he's gay now completely ruins the game, and I will not be playing it. So here we have Daniel himself. 5 out of 10, KCD is an RPG. You are responsible for your decisions. If you want Henry to try a same-sex adventure, disgusting.
Playing with your Wojak
if you want
dolls
Henry
again,
to try
Squiddy.
a same-sex adventure, feel free. So what a lot of the people in the woke right, and guys, y'all know who I'm talking about. It's these quote-unquote anti-woke content creators who are actually woke, who are what I will now call the woke right.
The civil war in the woke community.
Can you be woke right? I'm not so sure about that.
The civil war in the anti-woke community.
Yeah.
They are anti-woke, but they're
anti-woke
woke.
enough.
They're woke, anti-woke right.
They're so anti-woke that they're woke. Or actually, they're not anti-woke enough, so they're woke.
And they look exactly like this.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. This is a perfect example of, a far-right activist who is anti-woke but still woke.
Mm.
I,
course.
as a far-right activist, I wake up as Ben Shapiro and I put on my favorite trans flag shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wake up and start saying, but you don't have to be gay.
And these are people who, if there was titties in a game, I think they would be okay with the gay stuff. I'm going to tell you all that much about these people. For them,
What
it's
does he
really just all about
mean?
titties at the end of the game.
What?
And if that's in a game, then they're okay with the gay stuff. And these people are woke as hell because they're okay with gay stuff in games. A lot of these people have come out and told me in response, but you don't have to be gay. And guys, let me ask you this. If you only sometimes put wieners in your mouth, are you straight? No, you're a sodomite.
What kind
Can
of an
I just
argument is that?
Putting wieners in your mouth does not make you a sodomite, because that's not the definition of sodomy.
No.
So he's wrong.
Let's start there. Andy
On the
Pants.
very literal interpretation of the thing he's saying, that is not what sodomy is.
This guy talks so
there's
much.
A big nothing.
This guy talks so much about putting wieners in your mouth. He's a middle-aged man. This is all he talks about is gay people, trans people, and wieners in the mouth.
What's better yet, what I fucking love about this comparison is that he's comparing an optional video game scene that you actually have to go out of your way to do. The stars need to align for you to get that. You need to communicate very specifically. You have to play the game in a very specific manner to get there, to make Henry bisexual. And it's not like sometimes put wieners in. No, it's like if you go out of your way to put wieners in your mouth, then yeah. But if there's an option, there is an option right now for Andy Pants Gaming to download Grindr and just start going at it. The option exists.
He's fighting it.
But
He's fighting it real bad.
Right? So the comparison that Andy Pants Gaming is making, well, if I sometimes download Grindr and I sometimes put wieners in my mouth, am I gay?
Can you imagine the photos he has saved on his computer?
Actually,
this artwork saved.
Yeah, and it's interesting how it's cropped like that. I'm wondering what is cropped out there based on the position
what's there is for him
of the arm.
It's for him when he's alone at night.
The right character, I don't know what.
He's alone every night.
Well, he loves Henry so much. He's said multiple times, "Our beloved Henry."
Maybe he's mad that,
you mean
that he is.
You have to share him?
That's probably why he's so mad. Is that Henry is dating somebody else. He can't self-insert anymore.
No, it's too real. It's too realistic for what he wants.
But yeah, the better question for Andy Pan's gaming is like, if you go out of your way to put wieners in your mouth for your sodomite, and if you choose not to do it, then all fine, you don't have to do it. But he's very clearly talking about this like there was nothing he could have done. When there was a
I
flirt
had no
option, he
choice.
had to press it. Yeah, there was a gun to his head. The woke mob had a woke gun to his head, and they made him pick the gay
Not the
option
woke
every single
gun.
time.
Oh, the woke gun.
It's
And
the 5G.
it's shaped as a wiener.
He just couldn't resist putting it in his mouth.
He put the woke gun in his mouth, actually. He's that much of a bootlicker.
You are a sodomite if you only sometimes put wieners in your mouth. Now, this is another argument that's been brought up online by the Troons. They said,
Oh,
but you never had an
interesting
issue
choice
with
of language.
with Cyberpunk and with Mass Effect 3. The difference is that KCD is based on the real world. It's 1403 Bohemia. Like I said, you're Henry of Skalitz, the son of a blacksmith. It is mirrored on the real world.
Wait, pause it.
Most prominent.
He's kind of saying that, it's okay in the modern world to have games where characters are queer, but the rest of his videos talk about how bad it is for games to have queer characters. What is he?
What's
I
also
makes no sense.
interesting is that he will later on say that V is canonically bisexual, and even though he wishes he wasn't, he was able to ignore it by just not picking the gay options. But what's weird is he cannot ignore it with Henry. He just cannot.
But he's made
Whenever
so many other videos on the same topics.
Mm-hmm.
He's
What's
picking and
also
choosing.
interesting is Commander Shepard is also straight in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot actually have gay romance as male Shepard in Mass Effect 1. You can in Mass Effect 2 and 3.
Right.
So technically they turned the straight character into a filthy bisexual.
Using his logic, yeah.
Exactly. But
I
no,
see.
that's not a problem.
Doesn't count, doesn't matter. It's
No,
not
it
his
doesn't count
beloved
because
Henry.
Mass Effect 1. Yeah, Mass Effect 1 is an old cool game. It can't be woke.
Oh, true. Yeah, it's only modern games.
Character Henry in this game were a homosexual, everybody around him would be talking about it because it was not accepted. People were put to death for being gay in the medieval era.
Yeah, so like
There's your point, buddy.
I know. Yeah. It's almost like they kept the romance like a hidden thing in the game itself. Where this was like a I can't believe we're doing this sort of moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
The way he's making it sound like is that like Henry and Hans, right after they kissed, they like hung pride flags out of the castle and started like watching chick flicks together and going on pride parades. It was very much like a
Oh my
hidden
God.
love, they'll kill us if they find out kind of thing.
They were sending trans pigeons to carrier pigeons to each other.
Yeah, they were sending woke trans carrier pigeons.
They made the pigeons woke. I cannot believe this.
Yeah.
And they scented the letters with girly perfumes.
And also it is a real world with established lore, and it's also based on history. But however,
Based on.
Mm-hmm.
He's already admitting this is fictional work.
Yep.
And this kind of like, it's the same sort of fiction as Cyberpunk. Even though Cyberpunk's a completely made up world, the story in itself is not real. V doesn't exist. Henry also did not exist.
Mm-hmm.
And in an RPG, where Mass Effect and Cyberpunk are actually very, very good comparisons, because Shepard and V are whatever you want him to be.
Mm.
You can play him gay, you can play him straight, you can play him however you want to play him. They'll be whatever you want to be. So him complaining that his RPG character is gay It really screams at the top of its lungs. It just screams at you that he played it gay.
Yeah.
When you play a
We know
game
he's
like
done that
Cyberpunk
before.
and when you play a game like Mass Effect
Absolutely.
3, those are fictional worlds that I'm stepping into that they can do whatever they want in. But you can't do whatever you want in KCD because Kingdom Come Deliverance is based on history. You are limited by history, and they have thrown out their own lore, they've thrown out their own history, and
It is limited by history in the sense that you can't have an alien invasion in Middle Ages Bohemia and just say the game is based on history. But you can have a gay romance because there were gay romances there.
That's what frustrates me so much is I don't know how many times we have to say that gay people have always existed for someone to listen. You just didn't hear about it. They didn't appear one day when it suddenly became okay. It wouldn't have become okay if they never existed.
They walk into the point as well. He said, yeah, people were killed. They were hung. They were strung up and killed in front of an audience if they were found out to be gay. Exactly. You walked into the point. Why do you think you didn't hear about gay romances? Why? You know the answer. You've said the answer, but you choose to completely walk past it.
making Henry gay. Now, look, I'm going to be totally honest with y'all. I played Cyberpunk. I enjoyed it, but I also wish the gay stuff wasn't in there and I was able to ignore it.
So
Now,
he
you might
played the
say to me,
gay.
Andrew, just play KCD2 and ignore the stuff. I can't, dude. I can't. I can no longer ignore the fact that they have destroyed Henry. They have made him bi. Like I said on the screen here, if you've ever put a wiener in your mouth, you're
So, like, as you said there, like, by making Henry gay, they have robbed me of the character I wanted to play as.
No.
But you had no problem playing as V in Cyberpunk, who is canonically bisexual. So, in that sense, they didn't rob you of the character you wanted to play as.
Because you could play
What
it
difference
as
is
not gay.
he can ignore it, but he can't hear because reasons? He
Because
literally
I said
just
so.
described being able to ignore these bisexual romance options in Cyberpunk, but he just cannot do it here because even the suggestion of it? But there are suggestions in Cyberpunk as well. This is kind of confusing in the sense that, like, I guess he is covering behind this whole "well, it's supposed to be history" and stuff like that. And, like, congratulations, learn some queer history.
gay, you're a sodomite. So I can't ignore any of that. I
can't ignore the fact that
I
being
played
gay doesn't make
Cyberpunk
you a
and I tried to
sodomite.
ignore. The reason why is, of course, because I love the Cyberpunk world. I loved everything else about this game except for the gay stuff. You can't ignore such a canonical change to the character. You
I think
can't
he's gonna go
ignore that
around in
they've
circles.
essentially thrown out history
Yeah.
completely by making Henry gay. There's three big reasons here that Henry can't be gay, and making Henry gay completely destroys any chance that this game had. Number one, KCD has established lore. You can't make a character gay just because you want to.
Here's the thing.
Massive
Christians
You
can't be
can.
gay.
You can make a
Christians
character
can't be
gay just
gay.
because you want to. It's up to the devs, not you.
Yep, pretty
You can
much.
do that. It's not your game. If it's that much of an issue, you can learn to code and develop games, and you can make your own game where you can be straight and the character will never ever turn gay because it's not
Wait a
in
minute.
the law.
Also, they did it. It's done. They made him that way. It's literally set in stone.
Oh, okay. So the reason I'm googling this 1403 Bohemia means it's in the Middle Ages, but it's also before the Reformation. And what the Reformation was Martin Luther would move towards making the church less corrupt and for just people being able to read the Bible.
Right.
Because before 1517, the Bible was exclusively written in Latin.
Oh, yeah.
So, most peasants in the Middle Ages before 1517 had no idea what the Bible said. They had no clue what
There
it
you go.
was, what it represented. Their only clue was whatever the church father, whatever the pope said, whatever
Yeah.
the priest said in the church. And this has led to centuries of church corruption. And the biggest problem, the whole reason the Reformation started, the whole reason there was a huge war about this that was as big as World War One, all of Europe was fighting over this, was that the priests would essentially let you pay a fine to get into heaven
Oh,
and
wow.
forgive sins for money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you wouldn't know that's wrong because you had no idea what the
'Cause
holy
that's what they're telling you.
word of God. Yeah, exactly. There is the argument that Henry is a Christian. Henry has never read the Bible. I can guarantee you, Henry has never read the Bible because he couldn't understand Latin unless you
Mhm.
make it canonical that Henry went to a separate school. No, he was the son of a blacksmith. He was
Yeah.
a German. There's no way he knows about the verse of no sodomy. Like, oh, whoever does sodomy to another man, like he did not read that shit. And societally, yes, it was frowned upon. Don't get me wrong. But there is nothing to indicate that Henry would reconsider a bisexual romance because what will God think?
Oh, dear.
Number 2, Henry is a Christian. You cannot be Christian and gay. That's like saying water and oil can be combined. They can't. And number 3, every character in the game would talk about it if Henry was. So
Unless
People
they
have
didn't know.
secrets?
Unless they didn't know, yeah.
Never heard of that before.
No, obviously, when Andy Pans Gaming wakes up every single fucking morning, he tweets about his most recent sexual encounter because everybody needs to know. Every character in the game will talk about this.
Oh my god.
To which I expect a reply from Andy Pans Gaming. Well, I've never tweeted any sexual encounters, which just means there hasn't been any.
if let's say
Yeah.
in KCD2, Henry becomes gay, every single character you talk to would talk to you about it. You'd be put to death, things like that. And
I really do love just telling everyone that I'm committing a crime that is punishable by death. That's personally one of my favorite pastimes.
Yeah.
Every time I do it, I need to tell somebody about it.
Knowing full
and
well.
also, as we'll see in a second here, some of the community managers and the creators of the game is saying, "Oh, he's been gay all along. You know, he was just hiding it." That's interesting how we played a 500-hour adventure and it never came up somehow. What a tolerant and accepting time the medieval Middle Ages were, right? Am I right? What I want to get into here is why. Why has Kingdom Come Deliverance gone gay? Let's talk about the timeline here. Daniel Vavra, the game director of the game, used to be fairly based, and he got a lot of pushback for his basedness back in 2018. And I think what happened was he swung the other way and he started acting more and more
Much
gay.
like
But then
today.
the real kicker was a little company came along and offered the man a lot of money.
Oh,
I
we're going back
love
to
that.
BlackRock investment. Good lord.
AI overview.
I love that
I love
AI
that.
overview answer.
What is your
It
source?
just
AI.
screams. It just screams surface level information digging.
I like how he didn't crop that out.
Why would
It's
you?
the BlackRock investment. I've heard of this before, and again, every time it goes back to BlackRock investment.
It's
Good
literally
lord.
Satan. It's this generation of conservatives' version of like George Soros. Because I remember George Soros was like a really big thing back in the day, that he's like literally Satan. He's trying to destroy the world with like wokeness. And then they all just kind of forgot about him, and then they moved on to the next big thing, and now it's BlackRock. And in 10 years, it's going to be some other company.
Yeah.
But the thing about this dev in particular is that the first game, they tried to set it out to be very historic. Try to put in a lot of accuracy into it, obviously.
Mm.
And so they did not include people of color or LGBT people, purely out of the idea that they were most likely not there, and even if they were, what's the point of portraying them?
Okay.
But as the devs learned history, they really wanted to outdo themselves in the second game.
Mm.
They got into the deep ends of history. The deep ends of history, when you realize that the world used to be a lot more diverse than what you would traditionally assume it to be.
Yeah.
Then you find out that people of color have existed in Europe for centuries,
Mm-hmm.
many centuries actually. Uh, there's a play by Shakespeare where they have a character who is a Moor, and Moor is like a blanket term just given to Africans, dark Africans,
Right.
and the first time the Moor was actually played by a black actor in a film was in the 1990s,
Oh, Jesus.
right?
Oh
And
my
before
God.
that, it was blackface. There was one
What?
time they had cast an actual black actor in London for a play in like 1800s, and there were so many negative reviews about this.
Of course.
But why are you casting, like, why aren't you casting a white actor?
Oh, wow.
But that was during a time where they didn't even cast women for women roles.
Yeah. Yeah. God forbid.
So yeah, the devs of this game realized that history is a lot more diverse than they give it credit for.
Mm-hmm.
And so they decided to include this diversity in the next game
Good on them.
to make it even more accurate.
Mm.
It's not even about the gay romance itself, but it's just the fact that these things did happen in history, and they
Yeah.
did accurately portray how it would happen in history.
Secretly.
Yeah, very secret, very private.
Mm.
It's this they're almost like ashamed of it too. And that
Yeah.
is exactly how it
Naturally.
was in that
Yeah.
society. Yeah. It was very accurately portrayed. But no. The big woke goblin came in and said, "Put woke in it, and I'll give you Satan money."
And that little company, y'all knew it. Dude, when I Googled this, I was like, yep, there it is. BlackRock Investment Manager Limited is the largest shareholder of Embracer Group AB. BlackRock owns PlayOn, PlayOn owns Embracer, and Embracer owns Warhorse, the creators of Kingdom Come Deliverance. So guys, yeah, we're back to Satan himself.
Satan himself.
We have to force behaviors.
That's
Global
Baphomet.
homosexuality.
That's not
Everyone has
Satan.
to be gay. They hate humanity. They hate Christ. They hate Christians. They worship degeneracy and they worship their own sin. And
Just
and
like you do when you pick the
BlackRock, and
gay
it's the
option
global
and you
homo
can't.
movement that's behind this. And I think the thing that was really sad is Daniel. Here he is in a, I think this is a Jaguar. I'm not sure what kind of car this is. You know, and he's got these brass balls up here.
Did you
Homie,
see
you don't
it?
have brass balls. You took Satan's ticket.
thinking
You
about
loved
balls a
mammon more than
lot.
God. I don't know if Daniel was ever a Christian, but he's certainly not one now because he took the ticket and he took money over doing.
The first thing he examined in that picture were balls.
Yeah. And he had to point to them too. Like, I don't know if
Yeah,
you
he
guys
even put
saw
a
it.
little arrow.
I saw it right
Yeah.
away, guys, but I don't know if you could see these balls in this picture.
After like 2 minutes of admiring them, I decided to put the arrow there to make it easier for others to spot.
That's
Doing
all
what
this
God
guy
says.
does.
I thought this was another interesting comment from Daniel. He said, at the same time, it is a role-playing game, so it is purely up to the player what decisions they make, and for all the decisions they make, they are responsible for the consequences that correspond to the morals and social norms of the time. Notice where he says, it is purely up to the player what decisions they make. No! You've removed the choice from me.
You removed the choice from me.
How?
What do you
I'm telling, the
mean?
woke gun was to his head.
It's because he keeps
had
picking the
to
gay
pick it.
option.
Yeah, he had to. There was no other choice. The choice was taken away from him.
Mm.
You cannot imagine how painful it must have been for him. The tears were rolling down his eyes, and he felt a very strange sensation in his pants as Henry and Hans were making out.
Every time he plays it, he ends up with the gay option. He's like, why does this keep happening? They must have taken the choice away
Where
from
are all
me.
the chicks on Grindr, man? They keep putting these wieners in my mouth.
If I want to believe that Henry is a 100% straight character, how can I do that when he's okay with being bi?
Zoom in
You
on
have,
it.
as the creator of the game, you removed my choice. I wanted to choose for him to be straight. I can't. He's not straight because by my definition, anybody who puts a wiener in their mouth ever is gay. So he's not straight. So Daniel, you haven't given me choice. You've ruined my
Anybody?
choice.
That's his definition.
Guys, one quick
So-
aside here.
So if
Where
I
have you
did
been,
that,
Andy Pants? Guys,
would
I
be
am
gay.
making
Yeah,
a video game right
absolutely.
now. I'm actually working on 2 video games coming up, and the name of the game is called Woke Game Development Studio.
So he's making
in
a
this
gay game.
It's part visual novel,
Yeah.
part management sim.
Like I'm telling you, he cannot. Of course, when I'm developing my game, I have this big Trans Lives Matter desktop picture. It's not even a desktop picture; it just shows up, and I can't remove it because I lose my diversity score when I do it.
This guy goes on and on about how games should be manly and it should just be men doing men things like killing people and that's it. And instead of making a game that he wants to play, he's making a game about woke trans gay people. What does that tell you?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, if you're capable of game development, why aren't you the change you want to see?
This
The reason is he
guy.
doesn't want to see the change. He wants to keep the grift going.
Mm.
And you are the CEO of a woke game studio. And you encounter the creatures and the employees that one would encounter if you ran a woke game studio. I'm very excited about it.
Wow,
I
very
will let y'all know
realistic.
the moment that it is on Steam so that y'all
Absolutely.
can start wish listing it. In case you're not familiar
I
with
don't know
Kingdom
was
Come
that if that
Deliverance,
was the CEO or you
Kingdom
played
Come
CEO, but
comes
I'm
from
into
the
it.
Lord's Prayer that Jesus prayed. In 1403 in Bohemia during the time, in the game, homosexuality is punishable with death. Every town you go to, people say Jesus Christ be praised. That's like the first greeting that you get. And it is an incredibly fun game. It's an incredibly based game. And history has always been at the forefront of this.
Yeah. Hold. Let me just. He's gonna talk about how he played this historically accurate based Christian game soon, and it's just going to be amazing.
Game. It is 100% historical. There's no dragons. There's no magic. There's no anything like that. And it's one of my favorite games. Although I'm really really bad at it. Something that I really like to do in KCD1 is I would just wait until people went to sleep. So anytime I would get in a fight with like 2 or 3 guards, I would get my butt kicked because apparently I'm just not good at the combat of the game. So what I would do is I would assault guards at night, and I would make the little clock go, and I would wait until people were asleep, and then I would stab them in the middle of the night just because I was bad at combat. But KCD is an incredibly
This is the Christian gameplay he's talking about. This is the based Christian gameplay.
Of course, yeah.
When
Now, you
I'm
know
put in a
what?
historically accurate 1403 Bohemia, the white Christian male thing to do is to fight guards, the city guards, aka the Middle Ages version of the police, get my ass kicked, because obviously I've never been a knight in my entire life. In the story, Henry is not a knight, but he kind of wants to be.
Right. Like a
And so
vigilante.
he's obviously very bad at combat, and it takes a lot of time to get good at it. It's supposed to be difficult
Mm-hmm.
because you're playing as an inexperienced swordsman. And so he gets his ass kicked, so he waits until the night and stabs guards.
Jesus
This
Christ be
is
praised.
Jesus
Sounds
Christ be
honoring
praised.
to me.
It's me playing as Jack the Ripper in the Middle Ages.
Man, he's a real
Which-
Christian. God loves
Yeah,
him.
that's real Christianity right there. It just pours out. Jesus Christ be praised as I sink my dagger deep into the city guard.
Of course.
That's what it means to be based. And you know, the sin of homosexuality outweighs the sin of murder by so much. You know, one of the biggest sins in Christianity, murder, unjust murder. You know how long it took the Christians to organize a crusade because the Pope needed to spin a fairy tale about why murder is actually good? No, that's something I can do all the time. You just wait.
And he's like referring to
Wait.
multiple guards, not just one.
Yeah, multiple. He was on a killing spree.
Mm.
He wanted to see blood in his base Christian
Not punishable.
Middle Ages game.
No, he wasn't punishable with death.
No.
Genius fella.
I'm fine with committing that sin.
Based game. It's a accurate historical medieval game. And so while gay options might not seem like a big deal in most games, it is a big deal in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 because the game has a huge based Christian following. The game claims to be a historical Christian medieval crusader simulator game.
Never claimed to be a Christian game. It is Christian only because it's in the time period.
Mm.
You cannot ignore Christ. You cannot ignore Christianity if you're covering 1403 Bohemia. Literally impossible.
It comes with the territory.
Exactly. But you don't have to condone Christianity.
Yeah.
By putting the game in that setting.
And they've completely thrown that all out the window, but it's because they're owned by Satan himself now. BlackRock is funding this game, and clearly Daniel Vavra decided
BlackRock
that money was worth
Satan
more than his
himself.
integrity. Just to remind y'all, I thought this was really interesting.
CEO
Jump back to 2018.
Satan.
I think this was on Facebook, or it looks like it was on Facebook or Twitter.
This
guy
like
Maramax said to Warhorse Studios 8 years ago, this is 2018, he asked, will we have some kind of same-sex romance, or even any kind of romance? Warhorse Studios said back, same-sex romance, no. You will play as Henry, the son of a blacksmith from Silver Scalus, and he already does have a background story in which he is not bi, odor, I think they mean, or homosexual. But there will be homosexual NPC characters in the game, and of course we know about those. There are like
Swedish
people who are
pretty sure the game studio
homosexuals
Swedish.
in secret in the first game, but Henry is not.
Yeah,
they specifically said here he is not gay.
Here's your source: a YouTube reply.
8 years ago.
From
8 years
someone...
ago. Exactly.
I've never changed once in my life.
No, not at all.
I'm not different from where I was 8 years ago when I was 12. I'm not changed at all.
Gay, he's not bi. He is straight, and Henry himself claims to be Christian in the first game. Moramax, somebody said back, Moramax said back, so those players who are not straight will be forced to romance a woman. Bro, go play Fallout, go play Cyberpunk, go play the hundreds of games where you can be a gay degenerate. But don't play
I do that in real
Can we
life.
have one game? Can we?
He is literally pointing out the exact same argument that he does, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Except this person is saying what he's actually asking is, will there be a forced romance?
Mm.
That's it. And mind you, they actually did they did specify that nobody's gonna force you to do anything, right?
Yeah.
I don't get this guy, man. The fact that you can ignore romance completely in the first game. You don't need to
Mhm.
get a wife. You don't need to like pursue any romantic options, and that's fine. Like you can do that. And that's the exact question that was asked.
Yeah, they just want to know if it was forced, the romance in
Yeah.
general, not the opposite. This guy is
We
reading
have
into
one
it.
historically accurate game. So Warhorse Studios said back, and I'm not going to read all this. This was an incredibly great response. This is, guys, this is old Warhorse Studios. This is not current day Warhorse Studios. Current day Warhorse Studios is woke, but this is something they said back in the day. Nobody will force you to do anything, but you will play as Henry, the son of a blacksmith. And yes, he is straight and white and male from Bohemia. Someone from France will not be able to play a French guy, even if he loves his country. If you are in a wheelchair, you will be able to walk in the game. And Henry will be able to have a dog in the game, even if you're more of a kind of cat person. They go down. There is nothing wrong about people to have different preferences and heritages, but we cannot cover them all, and we don't want to. Wow. Here's Warhorse Studios claiming that they don't want to make Henry
Who
bi or
at Warhorse
homosexual, and
Studios? It's not
And
the entire of Warhorse Studios.
yeah,
This is a social media
that
manager.
is that is nowhere near an official response. This is literally just some
It's
dude.
likely not even a dev on the game that's responding
Yeah,
to
it's
this
a
comment.
social media manager.
and not only it was 8 years ago, and they took time to educate themselves on the history, which is what changed.
It is a crazy concept that there are no medieval wheelchairs, and you cannot adopt medieval cats. I don't fucking. I don't get
Wow.
it.
I wonder why they changed. Perhaps it's the millions of dollars they got paid by BlackRock. They go on, we want to tell the story of Henry, the son of a blacksmith from Silver Scalus, and he will be different from you, not only in his sexuality, but in his heritage, in his looks, and in his biography, and many more. He maybe will be able to do things you are not able to do in real life, while he lacks in other tasks in which you are great. Dude, so based. Dude, it's this, isn't it
Dude, it's
interesting?
so
The
based.
same kind of thing happened with CD Projekt Red. People assume these developers are based just because they're in Eastern Europe. And we have seen now Warhorse Studios has gone woke.
Pause it.
We have seen
Is
seen
this guy
CD Projekt Red
pause it?
going woke. Guys, it's
Is this guy not middle-aged?
He absolutely is. He's like in his 40s.
He talks like Gen Z.
I
What the
don't think
fuck?
I've not in a long time heard anyone use the term based seriously.
Oh, that's because only the
genuinely.
alt-right uses it still. The thing
Yeah.
about it is, they came up with it, then it got co-opted to the point where everything was based, and when everything's based, nothing is.
Mm.
But as the internet goes, well, actually, no. Even like younger far-right people don't use the term based anymore. It's strictly reserved for the boomers now.
That's
It's
wild.
old. But
This
it is
guy.
interesting to see into this caricature of a character.
it's like this evil satanic octopus like spreading out its arms in its
Arms?
money to like buy up all these companies that are doing anything good. It's like,
Yeah,
why
the
does
eight-armed
every game do
octopus.
this, dude? Last of Us Part 1, awesome.
The
Last of Us Part
satanic
2 went woke.
eight-armed octopus.
KCD
Last of Us Part 1, awesome. You know, the lesbian romance happened in the first game too. You know, in a DLC, in the progression of it. I'm pretty sure it did.
I have not played it.
Even so, Ellie was still a lesbian in the first game, even if the romance
Yeah.
didn't happen because
Yeah.
she was young. She was still. What is the what is the point there?
One awesome. KCD2 went woke. It's like liberals and these degenerates. They find something that has influence and then they infect it, so that they can try to affect people in the future.
Did they infect
So yeah,
you,
as I said,
Andy
Warhorse
Pants?
Studios in 2018 was ultra based.
He's getting
But
the
fast
fever.
forward to 2025, and let's look at the. I don't have an exact screenshot of it up, but let's look at the rules that Warhorse Studios has now set for their Steam community guidelines. So these are
these
rules
horrible rules
that Warhorse just put in place on the Steam community.
How could
Zero
they?
tolerance for discrimination.
Oh, I just got
Discrimination in any
flashbanged by
form is
that.
strictly forbidden. This includes
Stop! Oh my god!
homophobia and transphobia, hatred or prejudice directed at LGBTQ individuals.
He does the voice too well.
It's like, do you guys know that your own
That's his usual voice.
Yeah.
He actually tries really, really hard to talk the way he does, but he kind of let it slip there.
He has to. He has to let it out. He's got to let
But
himself
what's
be
weird
free.
is that it's weird that he skipped over the first two.
Oh, he only focuses on gay.
Yeah, that's the real enemy here.
Degenerates.
I wonder if he's gonna talk about ableism.
Maybe he does bring
game?
up the wheelchair thing a
By
lot.
that definition, your own game is homophobic and transphobic because people were murdered for being gay in
What?
KCD 1. Ageism, religious discrimination, classism, colorism, body shaming, mocking someone's body shape or size. I guarantee you that probably happens at some point in Kingdom Come Deliverance too. But then look at
Yeah,
this.
because
They
it's a
removed
game.
all of their guidelines because guys, there's been huge, incredible pushback from the community. Fans of Kingdom Come Deliverance are over with this shit because people can smell the stench. We can smell the stench of woke coming from a mile away.
From a while away.
Oh, buddy. You can smell it on
He's
yourself.
he's trying to make it sound like this was like a big deal. This was a top-selling game on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Like the game did really well.
The pushback was from Andy Pants and Andy Pants.
and his boyfriend.
Oh my god.
And so, look, Deep Silver has updated their rules to just respect others, stay on topic, no spoilers, no spam, follow Steam's guidelines. Because fans were like,
by the way, Steam guidelines are pretty much exactly the same as this.
Yeah. He also said that wasn't an exact
dude?
screenshot.
Like, you guys y'all have a homophobic game. What are you saying? How are you going to say we can't say homophobic stuff? What if I post a screenshot from your game that has a character saying something homophobic in your game? Does that mean you're going to cancel yourself?
Oh, he's
Warhorse?
reaching.
Well, if you
This
post
was
a
a great
screenshot
question that
specifically for
this is the
the
Steam community manager for
the
Warhorse
intention
Studios.
of being
Somebody
homophobic in
asked
the
him,
comments, then yeah, they are going to
which is a
delete
great
it. But if you're just commenting on the actual game itself, and that happens to be one of the screenshots, then it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Even so, I'm not sure that happens in the game anyway.
Even so, they said it was historically accurate. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just it's the game. Their rules are for real life. I don't know if he can distinguish between the two.
It is still kind of confusing to me as to why he harps on that particular thing. If his whole point is that it's unchristian, when so many things are unchristian, does he avoid games that let you pickpocket? Because stealing is non-Christian, it is a massive crime. Does he not play games that don't let you insult your parents, or games that let you insult your parents?
Mm.
Or does it play or does he not play a game where if you kill somebody's slave, you're like you don't compensate them for the murder of the slave? I just don't get why this is like the big thing he focuses on.
He's very obsessed with anything being gay, and he talks about, oh, well, this can't be possible because they're Christian. Well, it's well known that Christians do things that are not very Christian. That is a very Christian thing to do, actually. Very well known, especially in the church. But he's not acknowledging any of the things, anything else that is not a very Christian thing to do in the games itself.
It is eye-opening to say the least. Very
Mhm.
interesting, thought-provoking.
Question: why is Henry forced to be heterosexual in KCD1? And Dr. Fusel Pulley said budget constraints. And then somebody said Henry was always meant to be queer. They just didn't have the money for it back then. Can you stop complaining now? Oh, dude, it's so absurd, dude. It's so obvious to see that Warhorse has gotten taken over by wokies. It's
Wokies.
it is a
I
truly
haven't heard that
mask
one
off
before, I have
moment
to
that
say.
we're seeing it clearly. All right, this was something else. This guy, I can't remember the name of this guy. What was his name? It's not on here. This man is from Mali, and it's in 1403, and he is a physician, an explorer, and a medic.
Mind you, mind you. Mind you, this lasted a while. The Mali Empire was incredibly prosperous. This was a very rich region of Africa.
He doesn't
Who
care about
shows up in
history.
KCD2.
Oh, no.
And he says this. He's from the country of Mali, and he says this. He's talking about his own country. He says, "Overall, it is safer in our country. Nobody will waylay you on your journey, and we treat women with greater respect and set great store by learning." Whatever.
Mind you, this was taking place around the time which kind of coincided with the Islamic Golden Age. Well,
Mhm.
it's actually a bit later than the Islamic Golden Age, but around that time in history, uh, Islam was a lot more tolerant and scientific than Christianity.
Right.
Not saying it was the perfect tolerant religion of peace
But more so.
back then, but way more than Christianity, 100%.
Right.
On average, Muslims were better read and more accepting. That is absolute fact. You cannot argue with that.
that means, I don't know. But he says that they treat women with greater respect. So I did a little digging, and I thought, hey, oh man, that sounds absolutely accurate. I'm sure they treated women with great respect in Mali in
Greater.
1403. So how did they actually treat women in Mali in 1403? Oh yeah, they enslaved them.
Okay, so slavery was a thing in Europe as well at the time. And yeah, Mali was involved in the slave trade a bit
But it
later,
said
but
greater, not great. He completely misread that. That literally was the whole sentence, is that they treated them greater, not
yeah,
great.
absolutely. I don't think it's an inaccurate statement
Yeah.
for, say, a merchant or an explorer from Mali to come to Europe and say, wow, you guys have it worse here, because the Europeans did have it worse then.
It's just perspective. Yeah.
It's also likely it's not just relating to them being women. It was likely a class thing there as well. He's probably
Yes.
referring to women of his own class being treated with greater respect. But of a
Exactly.
lower class, they're not going to, because you have them being a
It's
woman
a
and them
class
being a lower
thing.
class.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely a class thing for sure, yeah.
And in Islam, yeah, they absolutely treated their own wife or wives with greater respect. There was a pretty strict rule in Islam. I don't know how much of it is still like No, I'm pretty sure it's respected to this day, but in Islam it does say that even if you have like 2 wives, you need to love them equally. I don't know how that's possible, but the
Right.
rule is such.
I see.
They did, for instance, like Muslim women had a lot more recourse against abuse back then than Christians did back then. It
Right.
wasn't enough then, right? It's by modern standards, it's pitiful.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things where it's better off than Europeans in the Middle fucking Ages.
Mm-hmm. We're not comparing to now.
Yeah,
In case you
exactly.
don't believe me, here's an academic source. Question: what did the women do in the Mali Empire?
And literally the first sentence is made for him. Was very complex.
Mm-hmm.
The social structure of the Mali Empire was very complex. However, some of the main elements were the king and his court instituted the top of the hierarchy. I guarantee it was all men. Below them were the noble class, which
Okay, but
consisted
you
of
didn't
warriors,
research that.
administrators, and other
You can't
officials.
guarantee
Beneath them
something
were
you didn't
free
look into.
peasants, and then
And it does not even exclude everything that we have just said.
Mm.
Mhm.
The society can be exactly like that. Exactly like the way the text describes.
And still be greater.
And still, it's still better. Like, say the treatment of women, if we rated out of 100 in Europe, let's say in the Middle Ages it was like 10 out of 100.
Yeah.
And the Mali Empire would be like 25 out of 100.
His whole argument right now is that they were not treated well. That wasn't what the sentence said. So he's arguing himself at this point.
Exactly. Well, that's kind of what you're dealing with when you're dealing with
enslaved people.
idiots.
Slavery was an essential part of Malian society. And also, it's worth noting there that there's no white people involved in this. This was, black people enslaving other black people in Mali in the 1400s. But guys, why do modern troons hate history?
Not that
Why do they
again.
hate facts? Why do they need to lie and make up?
People,
It's interesting how he's declaring all of the quote woke people as that.
Yeah, it's
for me, the
a
most
hasty
interesting part
generalization.
is that why do they hate history so much while you're literally lying about history in your own
Mhm.
video? The difference is these people love history, and they're making games where the historical accuracy is too much for you to grasp because you are
Mhm.
fetishizing your own history. Well, it's not
Mhm.
his history; it's probably like an American, right? His history is Babe Ruth and what have you, and
Babe
apple
Ruth.
pies.
Yeah.
Right, he couldn't grasp the complexities of European society if they slapped him in the face and shoved their wiener in his mouth. Right? But to him it's this fetishized version where he needs to emphasize white. Europeans were white when nobody cared about being white. This was way before race politics got involved. The whole race thing started in the colonial era. Even the Roman Empire didn't see a difference, that much of a difference. They were different, don't get me wrong, but there was no thing of like you are biologically like inferior or superior depending on where you're from geographically. He's probably an Anglo-Saxon, right? And the Romans described the Anglo-Saxons as a race of idiots. Anglo-Saxon, the Britons, the ancient Britons and their customs were seen as idiotic, and there's no greater fool in all of the realms than a Briton. According to the Romans, no offense, Ellie.
No, to be honest. Well, I would agree with them, but I assumed that they were referencing pagan Britons, which does make me change my mind a little bit. That's where I draw the line. But Britons generally, yeah,
Still holds up.
they kind of got a point. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, times change, people grow smarter, and sometimes they grow dumber, and so that's where we got this. But before race politics, there was religion politics.
Mm.
The whole difference with as he was saying, Africans enslaving Africans, the slavery was a very long institutionalized system, way before colonialism. But the way Europeans used to say that theirs is more humane is because Christians enslaved non-Christians, or more exactly, non-Catholics. Christians were fine because of Eastern Orthodoxy. They did. I'm literally talking right now in Estonia, a country that suffered 600 years under German slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They had no problem with owning other people. Europeans were not above those morals for a very long time. But in Africa, they didn't really care about religion. It was more of a look at the circumstance you found yourself in. Warring tribes capture warring tribes. That has been a custom for so many thousands of years. It's one of the oldest things we know about warfare. Is that when you win, you enslave the people that you conquered.
Right.
It's been done forever.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he's trying to focus on this, that this is a Malian thing, is weird. Or it's like not a white thing. It is very much a white thing.
Yeah, he's got a very weird angle going on here.
It's because he doesn't know shit about history.
Clearly.
All he knows about history is what he wants to believe in history. He wants to live in his based fantasy.
Yeah.
They need to make up things that never happened, and they need to just. And I thought about this. They really want to remake history in their own twisted image.
We're back to
They
the
want to
White
change
Jets.
history because they're not okay with the history that was. They want to create a new history that wasn't. And Kingdom Come Deliverance flies directly in the face of that because it is a historical Christian crusader game, and they hate history. People hate the history that's gone on for 3,000 years.
Yeah,
would
people
argue
that
that-
love history make a 20-minute video just like that.
I would argue that queer and people of color have a much greater passion for history because it's so important to learn so the bad things that happen to them do not repeat themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I
They
think that's the
are,
exact angle he's playing on.
yeah.
I don't think he is stupid enough to just say that gay people weren't invented back then. He literally pointed out that they would be burned and killed on the cross and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to kill a gay person, you need to know they're gay, right?
Yeah, so he gets half the point and then throws the rest of it out.
Yeah, but I believe he throws the other one out on purpose.
Yeah.
He definitely has an agenda. And he is sitting there saying that everyone's pushing their agenda on me. I can't stop putting wieners in my mouth. While he himself is putting an agenda of how much he doesn't like the wieners that are in his mouth.
Pretty much, yeah.
What a bizarre character.
Buddy, you put them there.
I Googled on here, what did women do in Mali? I used AI. What did women do in
I
Mali in the
used AI.
1400s?
He cropped it out,
Household
the AI
cooking,
overview
brewing,
this
caring
time
for
around.
Yeah.
livestock, raising children, farming. No, they weren't. They weren't being medics, and they weren't respected and treated with greater respect.
He at no point did this man say that. I could
He
read the
is
whole
the medic.
quote.
He's not saying that the women were medics.
Yeah,
He's the
we
medic.
treat women with greater respect and set great store by learning. At no point was he like, yeah, the women are in charge. It's a femdom society. I go home and I get pegged by my wife's wiener. Right? No, that's what Andy Pants thinks in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's the image he gets.
Well, that's
It's
maybe
just
what he
so
wants.
bizarre. That is exactly what he wants.
Oh my gosh, saying, and we treat women with greater respect than you guys do. Like,
Yeah,
it's an
absolutely.
absolute joke, dude. This reminds me
It's
of
an
putting a
absolute
samurai
joke,
in a
dude.
Japanese game, which Ubisoft is about to do in a couple weeks.
Sorry, what did he just say?
Sorry, not putting.
Yeah, he was talking about Yasuke, where they were going to make Assassin's Creed
Ah,
Shadows. And I'm pretty sure the history is set on that, where it's like he was definitely a samurai, like that much
Mhm.
is known, but a lot of the other details are kind of hazy, and so Ubisoft is very much making it up as they go. Obviously, they don't know the full picture. The amount of evidence we have for Yasuke and what he did and what have you is very brief, because even the clan that he fought for only like 2 years until that clan got destroyed. And so it is very difficult to piece together the history of it. But we do know that he was a samurai. And he did exist. We do know that.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so I'm guessing he's gonna shit his pants about this as well.
A samurai. What I meant was putting a black samurai in an Ubisoft game in a couple weeks that they're about to do. This was another interesting tweet. Somebody said, Vavra, with no hate, how come Henry, that was canonically in a relationship with Bianca and never showed any interest to the same gender in the first game, can potentially be gay in the second entry? Ain't that kind of random? I knew, and Daniel said, I know few men who had family, children, and then fallen in love with a man. But Henry is you. It's your choice. It's your story and your choices. No, Daniel, I wanted a straight Christian Henry.
Then be a straight Christian Henry. That's literally the last sentence.
That's what they just said.
Don't do it. Exactly.
And you've robbed me of that. So it's not my choice anymore, Daniel. That's what he doesn't seem to be getting, is that to say that a character can be gay means that that character can put wieners in his mouth. And the moment a character can do that, I can't relate to them anymore.
Andy Pence, you can put wieners in your mouth right now.
If you want
You know
to.
that? Yeah, if you wanted to.
You have the option. It is there.
You have the power to do it. It's not like there's going to be a magical Christian Jesus beam that's going to prevent it from getting in there. It's gonna fit.
Oh my god.
Because they're a sodomite. Guys, I'm gonna get out of here. It's good to be back. I'm gonna be posting a lot more videos lately. I've just been busy with video game
thank
stuff.
God.
And
That's
you
what I
might be
needed.
asking me,
God.
what based games can I play right now? Hang on, I'm working on a 20 based games to play video, but in the meantime, these are some games I have been playing recently that I've been loving. Kingdom Come Deliverance.
This game fucking sucks, by the way. I just don't like Sniper Ghost War. The franchise in general. The mechanics are so iffy on it.
Mm-hmm.
One, of course, this game's incredibly based in Christian. You should play it. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. This game is a little bit janky, but the story and the plot and the characters in this game are incredibly based, and I love Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, even if it is a little bit janky. Oh, and it's made by CI Games, who are based and they're in Poland. And then finally, Aliens vs. Predator 2010. I've been having a lot of fun with this game recently. So, guys, I'm going to get out of here.
Oh, that's the one I wanted to watch. 2005 military games versus 2025 military games.
Of course.
What are we gonna get? Put it on your bingo cards. Is it gonna be women, people of color, women of color, or queers?
Which game is it? There's a game recently that introduced a Maori woman as a playable character, and it's like a war game, but they made her birthday the day of the Christchurch shooting.
What?
Yes, March 15th, I believe. That's the birthday they picked.
Nah.
So kind of everyone has an issue with the character, because you've got people who are like, oh, it's woke because it's a woman of color, and then on the other side it's, why would you pick that day to make her birthday?
Right.
You could have picked any day, and you chose that one. Hold on, let me look at.
I did not know about this.
Yeah, neither did I.
What game?
I'm guessing it could be like Black Ops 6. I don't know any games that have like operators and birthdays other than that. Except maybe Battlefield.
Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, yeah, okay. Rainbow Six Siege is wild. It's a whole other rabbit hole. Your testosterone.
12 o'clock. Hostile terminated.
I remember shooting guys' legs off with a shotgun in SOCOM. Pure
What a time.
testosterone.
Oh no! The slime, the woke slime,
Oh man.
not the
Oh my
she/her
goodness! Is
slime
this the
guy.
one? What's the? We saw the one where he slurs every. Well, I think he does that in every video, but specifically the
No,
one where
no.
it's like,
It was a different video.
okay, yeah, you know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah. But no, the thing is, this is not as much of a woke issue as it is the free market issue. They make these skins because they sell. They're not pushing funny slime guy agenda on you. They're
He looks
doing
like
this because people buy it.
he looks like the slurp guy from Fortnite.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, and
You
Call
know
of
the
Duty is
Poseidon?
trying really hard to be Fortnite.
Yeah.
There are still
Oh my god, it's
90
used.
It is.
Oh, I'm into it.
still gay.
Women.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the
I'm
woman,
also
yeah.
into it.
Lesbian girl bosses. That's right. That's a clip from one of his own videos.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure at no point does the game even specify that this woman is even
No,
a
but
lesbian.
she has short hair, Vlad. So obviously,
Right.
She has to
Right.
be.
that's not a
You,
that's not a traditional feminine woman. So obviously, she's a lesbian.
short hair was very popular in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
It
Absolutely.
was very
And
popular.
I would
90s
imagine
actually.
that
Well, yeah, this game
short
takes
hair would
place
be-
during the Gulf War, like like early 90s, yeah, very early 90s.
There you
Fucking
go.
91, 92.
Mhm.
She's just for the
There's
job.
no way. Yeah, there's no way a woman would have short hair in 1991 or 92. No way.
Impossible.
There's a lot of historical inaccuracies in COD 2 that are just like
He's all about
in,
history.
like, yeah, but the details are so fucking stupid in that game. There's so many things that are off, but who cares about it? Not a woman in sight. It's all hot, sweaty men rushing into combat.
Notice the complete lack of gay shit.
I'm pretty sure a lot of men were sodomizing.
I think they were very
Among
gay
other
in the
acts.
trenches.
Yeah, Angel does it again.
Because gay sex
This was
is
one to remember.
not just sodomy, if you were unaware.
And then Battlefield 2042, of course, the Black Swan of the Battlefield franchise. Everyone hated that game. Doesn't matter if left, right, center, whatever. Everyone hated this fucking game. But he's putting this as this like big woke game. What was woke about it, other than the fact that the gameplay was awful?
That was something, right? Don't be sad. This is just how it works out sometimes.
So what is this? Is this supposed to be like a gay person?
Right.
What
I'm not
what's
really
the complaint
sure
here?
what.
Yeah, other than
he's-
the fact that the quality of the game is bad. This is like they made it, instead of like classes and unnamed soldiers, they'd have like they tried to do like a hero shooter thing.
Oh, okay.
Because if you have a hero shooter, you can sell more skins for the heroes. You get
Yeah.
attached to your favorite guy, and so they can sell you more skins. So, well, is his complaint here that like they're not woke? These are just dudes, white dudes, you know, and what the fuck is the complaint other than the fact that the game quality is bad and capitalism is ruining video games?
Don't be sad. This is just how it works out sometimes.
Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. With all of us, how can we lose? Today I'm proud.
Oh, I'm ready. Hell, I climbed Everest. It's been all downhill from there. Couldn't imagine a better lineup of ass kickers than this.
This is what I live for.
Oh, there's the problem.
Oh, a woman. A black woman.
I
That's
am not
crazy.
overconfident. I'm just better than everyone else.
Oh, you know, I think I pulled something back there.
Well. That was fun.
Ghost Recon 2. Let's go!
We are initiating mortar barrages to cover your advance.
If he wants to play low poly games, he can play low poly games.
Watch your fire, we got friendlies.
There was no gay shit in the previous example, my guy.
None of the examples had gay
The
shit.
British troops are calling for support. Take out those machine gun nests.
Take it out!
Realism. Where you get shot
If you're an
500
idiot.
times and you don't die?
Ghost leader. One enemy helo eliminated.
And you also get tips that pop up in your line of sight.
Under fire! Hostile!
You're also in third person.
Next defiant. Yeah, okay.
Don't you be getting too big for your britches now.
Hey, the algorithm's got good taste.
Hang!
Who knew?
Our little rabbit got some moves.
I
Is it 'cause
think
they
the
have
main
voice lines?
complaint,
Preen that
Really?
you competent mammal.
the
Isn't
big
the,
complaint he
Watch Dogs?
has. Oh yeah, the X Define was made by Ubisoft. I think they're already shutting the game down.
Oh my goodness. I used to play Watch Dogs 2 for like 12 hours at a time. Crazy business.
Wow.
I was
I only
obsessed
played
with
the
it
first
when I was a
one.
kid.
But the thing is, so far the complaint does seem to be, I don't like flashy skins and hero shooters, which is
This isn't even the
fine.
gameplay. This is just their voice lines.
Yeah, he just doesn't like the way they sound and look.
He hasn't shown any of the gameplay of these games at all. I have no idea what the game
In a
looks
lot
like.
of these, the gameplay is fine. The power washer.
He's just showing random animations. Oh, I love Medal of Honor. I love the
does-
testosterone that courses through my body when I play Medal of Honor.
He's comparing apples to oranges here.
Mm.
When people ask me what I did in the war, I tell them that I did the same thing we all did.
Sucked
We
wieners.
fought for what was right. I've come to realize that there's nothing good about war, but there is good in why you fight wars.
Tango down. Negative, sir. Hostile down. Ben! Hostile eliminated.
Can you just let people enjoy things? Absolutely. Enjoy your gay emotes and skins for $4.99.
Enjoy your gay emotes. Okay, I will. You can also not do anything about it. People my age.
Good. And we would absolutely like to see good games return. There are good games. Just play those ones.
He's even talked about modern games that he's played and enjoyed
right?
that had quote unquote gay shit in them. Okay.
I do not understand it.
He admitted that he enjoyed them.
But it does kind of come back to the official woke games list. With the most recent edition being Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, of course.
Yeah.
Overtly anti-Western society messaging.
Because there is a possibility of a secret gay romance.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
What game would you guys like to check if it's woke? There's
See,
1,588 total so
I
far.
know it will be on there as woke, but because I just spoke about it, I would like to see what they say about Watch Dogs 2. Because you firstly play as a black man, and
Woke.
also there's a canonically autistic main character.
Contains overtly pro-LGBTQ plus messaging. The NPC Miranda Comey is trans.
Let me just look up that
Firewatch.
NPC because I don't remember. Miranda.
I don't remember anything being gay in Firewatch.
Oh,
That's why it's slightly woke.
longtime friend of Marcus. Oh yeah, I remember her. Yes, in the cult mission.
What about
I remember.
Pokemon?
Which one?
Any.
He hasn't
Interesting.
reviewed any. There's no reviews for Pokemon games.
Interesting. He talks shit on
What
so
about,
many kids' games.
Oh, but
South
because
Park.
it's a Steam group.
Ah.
South Park. I see woke.
Woke.
Pro-LGBTQ messaging. Option for the player character to be other instead of male and female. If other is selected, the player will be told there is nothing wrong with being non-binary.
It's the game I've played with actually the most diverse options for what your character can be referred to as, which is insane.
What about Deep Rock?
Yeah. Oh my god, is that on there?
No.
Just 4 gay dwarfs hanging out.
What about Marvel Rivals?
Oh, it's woke.
Marvel Rivals is woke because it contains overtly anti-free speech and subtly pro-communism messaging.
Really?
Terms and phrases
That's
deemed
interesting.
politically incorrect by the CCP are censored in the game.
CCP is in Chinese
The
Communist
Chinese
Party.
Communist Party.
Because they are
Okay.
watching Marvel Rivals chat specifically.
Of course. Oh well, you cannot. I'm pretty sure you cannot talk about like the. You can't like spam anti-Chinese like.
I have seen about that. Yeah.
Yeah, like the
Is
Tiananmen
Granny on there?
Square. Oh, that's.
I thought that would be funny.
No, of course not.
Grand Theft
How is
Auto 5
Vice
is
City
slightly
woke?
woke.
Contains virtually anti-conservative
What about Bully?
messaging.
What about Bully?
Oh, definitely woke 100%.
Surely. Yeah, Bully's woke. Hell yeah.
Bully contains
There's an
overtly
achievement. I didn't
pro.
know that. I kind of want to play it now.
What?
Bully.
There's an achievement for doing like for kissing other boys, and it's called
Yeah.
Over the Rainbow.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
You can kiss, there's like 1 or 2 guys. And instead of like when you kiss the girls, they like slap each other or they just run away crying and the guys just start fighting. It's quite funny.
Oh my god.
That's what turned me gay, playing Bully.
Absolutely.
Mm.
What other
What other
games
games
are
are
there?
we interested in?
Left 4 Dead.
Of course.
Oh,
No woke content in Left 4
Interesting.
Dead.
wow. Even though there's black women,
We Left 4 Dead 2, yeah.
went past that one, I suppose.
I guess they needed more pride flags on Rochelle.
Yeah, maybe. How about...
I don't know. I personally consider the Depeche Mode T-shirt a pride flag in itself.
Real?
I'm just saying.
What about Outlast?
Ooh.
No,
No woke content.
Interesting. I'm just interested to know what he considers woke and not woke.
Wait, what?
Metro's woke?
Metro Exodus Pro DEI messaging features multiple female frontline combatants, two of whom are also leader figures.
So does Left 4 Dead. He's picking and choosing at this point.
I'm trying to remember who they are. Multiple. I know one who's like a rebel, but she's not like a leader figure, more so a very passionate rebel.
What about Dead
Also,
Island?
this has just popped into my head, but Watch Dogs 2 takes place in San Francisco, and he was complaining about there being a trans character in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
I don't exactly know. That's just accurate. I don't know what you want from that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
That's
San
basically
Francisco's still the gay capital of the US.
What about Sons
is.
of the Forest?
Not woke.
No woke content.
Interesting. Interesting. Even though Tiffany is
You can
main
give her
helper.
2 guns.
Huh?
You can give her 2 guns. But it's not woke.
Woman holding
Actually,
a gun?
She's more helpful than
Greg.
what's his name? Yeah. I
Mhm.
forget his actual name in the game.
It doesn't matter.
Kelvin or something.
It's Greg. Yeah. Well, her name's not Tiffany either.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Virginia, of course.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me look up my Steam library and let's
Yeah, actually, I want to know what
I
games.
want to know what love is.
What about
And I
Half-Life?
want you to show me.
None of the Half-Life games are woke.
Interesting.
Wait, I'm pretty sure Black Mesa is, right?
It's not even
Oh,
on
they
there.
don't have Black Mesa.
What about Skyrim?
Slightly woke.
Slightly.
An NPC in Whiterun asked you whether a sight of a strong Nord woman offends you.
What the fuck? And it did. It did offend him. He wrote it down in his diary.
I love
just
that
wanna see,
literal
like-
gay marriage is subtle.
Try Muse Dash. Because I want to see how like absurd we can get with okay, no, it's not on there. The actual games that he chooses to play.
And he plays them.
Stardew Valley.
Gay.
I love
Gay
just
love.
if we put in, yeah.
He
A
played.
gay
Gay
love
world.
story about gay love.
Oh, so he
Of course
played
it's
it.
woke.
So he played
Yeah.
a
He
gay love
played
story
the
about
Yowie
gay
game.
love.
He played
And
the
he
Yowie
had to
game.
tell us that it's woke. He had to tell us the gay love story about gay love is in fact gay.
How the
I never would have known.
how is
Gary's
she
mod is woke.
Are you going to bring
Contains
a gay love
overtly
story
anti-
about gay love into my gay household and tell me that it's gay?
How could you?
I'm offended.
Gary's mod is woke because it retroactively introduced a blanket prohibition on Nazism in April 2023.
I'm gonna go pee.
Bro really said the quiet part out loud
Oh,
with this one.
what about Hoonie Pop? Oh, he's not played it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I really
Wait.
would have expected that.
War Thunder is slightly woke. The AH-1S Kisarazu is piloted by an all-female crew and features a unique skin based on JSDF decal depicting fictional female JSDF personnel. It's piloted by a woman in real life.
What about Stardew Valley? I know it's going to be woke, but be interesting if you'd played it.
Slightly.
Slightly woke. Interesting.
What's weird is
Don't
game...
Starve is woke.
The character WX78 is non-binary, uses they them pronouns, and uses the honorific MX. WX78 was not originally designed non-binary, but changed due to feedback?
How could they? How could they?
The Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection is woke because the remaster changed the self-inflicted death message from player killed himself into player killed themselves. That's woke. That's like red marked woke. But gay marriage is slightly woke. What does he have about lesbians? Super lesbian animal RPG is woke.
How could they make my lesbian RPG have lesbians in it?
What is this? Super lesbian animal RPG?
Yeah.
It's gay?
Yeah. Can you believe it?
How could the lesbian furry game be gay?
That's crazy.
If it
I know.
wasn't for the woke rank, I would have never known.
Oh my god, does he have the furry game that we found on Steam?
Oh no. Sex
not
in the
even
furry
gonna-
titty. What's it called? Is that what it's called?
That's exactly what it's called.
Is
That's
it actually
exactly
the
what
name?
it's called. Yes.
No.
I hate that I remembered that.
He hasn't played it. He has not played it. What does he have on
That's
track?
unfortunate.
Strange horticulture.
With Death Stranding?
Life
Subtly
is Strange.
anti-Republican. And
Life
subtly
is Wait, Life is
pro-immigration.
Strange remastered is slightly woke.
Yeah,
That game
optional-
is gay as
homosexual
hell.
romance. If a game is good, it's slightly woke.
That's crazy. I love you, Lisa. I love you.
What do we have that's woke?
He's such a babe.
I'm Maury.
Features a story about depression, mental illness, and suicide. The player character is a hikikomori.
That's literally the point of the story.
Don't
that
you
is
know
the
it's
point of
woke
the
to be
story.
depressed,
Dear.
mentally ill?
No. No, no, no. Not allowed.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Every Ubisoft game by default goes into woke because of the little title screen they have that this game was made by like a diverse, diverse group of people.
Right. What the?
Just telling that to the person is enough.
Excuse me? Lisa.
Far Cry 4.
What do you think you're doing?
Pride flag, calling cards, and emblems, of course.
What are you doing? Girl. She's up on the back of my chair.
Modern Warfare 2 is woke because Ghost and Soap kiss each other.
Soap. Drop the soap. In my woke game.
What about Red Dead Redemption 2?
It is. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be woke because there's a like a women's rights group that wants to vote. But let's see.
Oh, you're so silly.
He
Oh,
hasn't played Red Dead. He's played lesbian furry dating sim game, but he hasn't played Red Dead 2.
wow.
Can't have that. No. Oh yeah, also women in like frontline combatant roles, even if you're an outlaw. Well, this here ain't Christian. Oh yeah, and Bill's gay. Like one
Of
of the crew
course.
members is just like,
Yes, of
outright
course.
gay, and they cover it in a very time accurate, like period accurate way where nobody talks about it. You have to. It's something that like the whole gang knows, but nobody talks about, which is exactly the way it would have been back in the day. But I'm guessing that's way too woke.
Of course.
I wonder what's like an old game that you could say is woke. Is Spore woke? There's no Spore.
Lisa's on the top of my chair.
Oh.
Behind my head, I don't know why. Excuse me.
It's being cuddly.
No, she wants to grab things that don't belong to her.
What about Scorn?
You don't.
He has never played Scorn.
What about Bloons TD6?
Real.
Oh, there's no way this isn't woke. Yeah. There's a pride flag item available in the trophy store with a pro pride message. Psy is referred to using they them pronouns.
Huh.
Of course.
Right.
Yep, can't have it.
Woke
Little
monkeys.
shooting. Yeah, woke monkeys, they got them too. But it is actually crazy how you know, back in the day, the right used to call everyone else snowflakes because nobody would just like laugh at the same I identify as an attack helicopter joke.
Yeah.
And now it's been like 10 years. It's been more than 10 years since they've said the joke. And they're still saying the same joke.
Oh,
And
and they think
nobody's
it's
laughing.
real funny.
Oh yeah, they laughed their nuts off. They've been laughing at it for like the past 10 years, and it's never been it's never improved upon. The formula is exactly the fucking same. But what's weird about it is that
Yeah.
they've become sort of a woke mob themselves.
Yeah.
There's no way you'd be making this list if you weren't offended.
Oh, he's offended, all right.
Absolutely.
Quit it.
I don't think Andy Pian's Gaming is talking about stuff like, oh, this is like things that I disagree with. No. He's 100% offended. Oh yeah, here's him like talking about the game, right? The video that we watched. And then he literally just goes out and fucking plays the scene.
Right.
Yeah, he just makes it there. He plays the game and he goes and intentionally chooses the gay option and then complains about it.
He plays hours and hours of a game just to get the gay scene. Does that not tell you something about Andy Pants Gaming?
Right?
Excuse me. What are you doing? Lisa. Lisa. Oh my god.
How do you sort of live in this sort of bubble?
Oh my god.
I love how he compares Riddick to Lifeweaver.
Oh, what a fucking...
It's a very funny comparison to me.
You see, society should have never progressed past Riddick. I feel like every video game character should be Vin Diesel. And it's exactly the same as they used to have in the Middle Ages. In the Middle Ages, where they would have like plays, right? And men would play the role of women. We should have like a whole movie just for Andy Pans Gaming, but every character is Vin Diesel.
And The Rock.
Yeah, imagine the perfect movie where the men are played by Vin Diesel and the women are played by The Rock and occasionally Kevin Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Could we have
The
a scroll
epitome.
through the videos that are here?
You want to see disabled Master Chief in a
Yes,
wheelchair?
absolutely.
Woke. I love that question mark woke and then fully woke.
He's
knows.
sure now. He's sure
Yeah.
after making 20 to 40 minute long videos. This guy can yap, man. Get a fucking diary, get a job, get a hobby.
Can I prove that games went woke? Yes. No, you can't. Assassin's Creed is completely cooked because I made an AI generated image of Edward Kenway being obese and in a wheelchair. It is cooked. Assassin's Creed is cooked, but for completely different reasons.
Lisa.
I loved Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I liked it. I love this game. People won't play it though. Why not? Is it too woke? Are gamers homophobic?
As a gamer,
we know.
yes.
Yeah, we know you are. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I would say so. Based on the hundreds of videos that this guy's made, I think we can safely say it is a common theme. I think we should wrap it up there, and then we can talk some more about this guy or any other topic we'd like on the next episode.
Absolutely.
Perfect. All right. Thanks for listening to our second episode of the podcast, and thank you, Vlad and Ellie, for being here. You guys got anything to say?
No.
I'm homophobic.
Okay.
I hate
Listen.
woke video games.
Oh my god. Okay.
I can't stop playing them. Something feels funny in my
I
pants in
just
my
can't
wardrobe.
stop playing the lesbian furry RPG.
Yeah. Degenerate behavior.
I can't help that I'm a sodomite.
It's the fucking 5G, I'm telling you.
You might be onto something.